Welcome to a brand new video series on our YouTube channel. Where I am stood is the start of something monumental for myself, my family, my team, my business. Ever since being a young boy and thinking that one day, you know what I would love to have the ultimate car showroom in the ultimate location. And I have no doubt that that's what we're going to achieve at the end of this project. We are building a 60,000 square foot facility. The showroom is going to be built to what I consider will be to a different level to any other showrooms ever been built before. This is going to be a huge journey for everyone involved. Everyone within my team, my family, the people on the project. So from the architects, the project manager, the cost controllers, they're my best friends by the way, the cost controllers, the contractor, the workers on site. This is going to be a humongous journey for everyone, and we're going to hear from more people involved on this project. Developments like this are not completed overnight, and we will certainly never be doing another one like it again. Over the next 85 weeks, we're going to document the build. We are going to document the highs, the lows, the pain, the glory, and we're going to take you on the journey with us. So we're here, we're on site, we've commenced construction, and I want to show you around. Where I am currently stood will eventually be our reception area. It doesn't look particularly glamorous at the moment, but just bear with us for the next 70 or 80 weeks. These plans I don't need to see in front of me. I've lived and breathed them for the last few years, so I can talk you through every single space, what's going to occur in that space, and walk you through the whole site. So this is our reception area. In the back is going to be our client lounge. The client lounge is going to be very much designed like a members lounge, like in a beautiful club in London. And then you're going to walk into what we have named Showroom B. And Showroom B is going to be full of modern supercars, contemporary supercars. So your likes of your F40s, F50s, McLaren F1s, hopefully. And then be careful. Coming through here, we're going to have our library, the library area where we're going to do all of our research for our cars. We've got some really special ideas actually for the library. Behind you, there's going to be a courtyard, and then split in the courtyard. Here, there's going to be a meeting room. This meeting room is going to be able to hold something like 35 people. And then Showroom A, which is going to be glazed on both corners, and you're going to catch from coming down from the hill and right on these crossroads. This is going to be, which is going to be where my real love and passion. Showroom A is for classic cars. So you're going to see all of the great classics, you know, all of the great Ferraris and Aston Martins and Lamborghinis and Porsches and Bentleys and Alfa Romeos. We're going to be able to fit into Showroom A is 25 to 30 cars comfortably. You're going to be able to walk around them and dance around them if you want, and you're going to have so much space. Showroom B is the exact same size. And then if we walk further on and we get to the other end of the site is Showroom C. And Showroom C is where the business will probably start buying and selling more contemporary, luxury and performance cars. So, you know, because we're based in the heart of the Cotswolds, there's lots of people around here that drive Mercedes G-Wagons and Porsche 911s. And that's an element of the business that I grew up in. You know, I feel like I know better than anybody else in the world, but I just haven't done any of it for the last 10 years because my main focus has been on really collectible cars. And this is an element of the business that we're going to scale, we're going to employ more personnel. So if you're really good in the industry and you think you're good at buying cars or you're good at bloody selling cars, then get in touch, because you might be able to have a job in the Cotswolds. Moving on, this is the working space, the real working space. So we've got showroom A, classic cars, showroom B, contemporary supercars. We've got our library, we've got our client lounge, we've got our reception area. Up above on the first floor, we've got my office, which is really nice, by the way. I've even got my own shower in the office. We've got all the offices for all the team upstairs. Our accounts department, they've got their own separate offices. And then at the back here, we've got the staff kitchen, showers, changing rooms. And then we've got a photo studio on site that we're building, because there's so many times that we find ourselves where the weather in the UK, because you know we're blessed with perfect weather 365 days of the year, but the weather in the UK doesn't always lend itself to us photographing some of our great cars at the times we want to photograph them. And also, if you know my business, you know we're always known for photographing the cars in front of the lake, and that doesn't really lend itself to, say, great racing cars. So photo studio into the development. We're also putting a PPF bay, full PPF room. So we're going to be able to offer PPF services on site. And then we've got detailing bays, but very state-of-the-art. We've researched what are the best car lifts, the ramps to put into the detailing bays, you know, all of the particular drainage that's needed, all kitted out with all of the best equipment. You know, I think it's going to look absolutely spectacular when it's done. I think I want to spend more time in the detailing bays and watching our cars being transformed than I will in the car showroom. And then across the way, this site that we're on is basically, it's 5 acres. It's hard to really, I don't know how you can grasp the size of it on this video, but it's humongous. And on this site, and behind me in the backdrop, we're going to build a state-of-the-art 150 car storage facility that is over 2 floors. Upstairs, we have named the penthouse, and then downstairs is going to be double stacked. They're going to be 150 cars, dehumidified, heated, cooled, and that's a new element of the business that we're going to introduce, because we're going to be able to store cars on site, on premises. So that's just giving you a little feel for the site itself. This is going to be a huge courtyard area here, and then at the back we've got more space for more buildings where we're going to keep our parts and our overflow, staff car parking. It's daunting just to think about all of this stuff and process all of it, but you know, this is the start of the journey, and stay with us all the way. Watch it. It's going to be spectacular. It's amazing how we come to buy this site. I feel like it was absolutely fate, and some things in life are just meant to be. We were always looking to relocate our family home, and we always wanted to be in the Cotswolds. We've been looking basically for the best part of 10 years. The vision was that we would buy a big enough farm that had enough outbuildings on it to be able to operate the business from that farm, and also to be able to separate it from the house. It was very much a decision that Charlene was heavily involved with. Obviously it's a huge decision, not just because of financial resources, but basically the scale of what we are developing is going to drain all of my time for the rest of my life. We bought our family home half a mile away, and if we could have drawn up on a paper exactly what the dream plan would be let's have our family home in the heart of the Cotswolds, and under a mile away we'll have the dealership. The people that I bought the farm from happened to own the local Mitsubishi dealer, that they'd been here for a couple of generations. They grew up as kids At this dealership, there was a petrol station at the front of the dealership. We decided to press go, green light, architects in, submit planning applications, and that's how we find ourselves where we are today. I always had a dream of owning a phenomenal showroom, a showroom which was, you know, the showroom throughout the world. And from being a young boy and seeing Jack Barclay in Berkeley Square in London, or Maranello, the Ferrari dealer in Egham, growing up we never had a showroom that was comparable to either one of those two. And our showroom at the moment in my business is not comparable to either one of those two. We're based in Ashby-de-la-Zouch, which is a lovely small market town, but wouldn't be the most affluent area in the world. And we don't have, you know, a glazed roadside presence. We received our planning approval back in July 2021. Although following the planning approval, there was bit of a delay because I suppose we'd done a little bit of value engineering on the project because it got totally out of hand. You know, we had 60,000 square feet that we absolutely designed like it was a super prime residential home. And then when the QS got involved and we started to look at the bottom line figures, I realized that not only would I have to sell both my kidneys, but all of the kids would have to sell their kidneys as well at the same time. So we decided to scale it back just maybe one notch. So now it's just my kidneys that are for sale. The old dealership, the old buildings, they were demolished at the end of 2021 and early 2022. And then we had a period of time of deciding who the right contractor was, who the right team of people that we put together for this project were, to choose from the different candidates. And we commenced full-on construction in April of this year. Okay, so we have actually started the showroom development. The machines have moved on and we're on site and we're full go. We are 1 month in, and as you can see, we have a lot of action going on behind me. A lot more action than what we had a few weeks ago. We've got diggers galore. We've got a huge hole that's been dug behind me, which is the beginning of Showroom C. The hole has been dug down to formation level, and tomorrow the footing strips are going to start to be dug and concrete is going to be poured a few days later. So it's a really exciting time. It's amazing actually. I thought there'd probably be 2, maybe 3 diggers on site going at it, but Jesus, we've got 6 or 7 diggers and dumpers and rollers and everything in between. We're now about in Showroom B. Showroom B and Showroom A. The reduced level dig hasn't started yet. There's some whack testing that's going on with the soils. For those of you that know a lot about developments, you'll know what that's all about. But basically the soils are being tested to find out what can remain on site and what has to be taken away from site. I am praying that there isn't much to be taken away from site, because it gets very expensive when you start to have to move things off site. What's really good to see actually is we've had one of our openings formed. So this is on the west entrance to the property. So we're going to have 2 entrances. We're actually going to have 3 entrances on the site. This is the west entrance on the site. The tarmac roadway has gone in. We've got 2 more layers on top of this to go. So this is just basically the base course, but this will give you a feel. The guys have been putting the drainage in for the last few weeks. So we've got foul and storm water. So this is our foul drainage that's going in actually, and then it tees off into the buildings. So we've got one main run of foul drainage teeing into, we've got the detailing bays, photo studio, kitchen, Showroom C, and then we've got an additional ring manhole inspection chamber here, and then the run continues on down to the western elevation. In the distance there, you will see a humongous foul chamber. So that's where all of the, how do I describe it? Yeah, that's where the stuff goes that has to be pumped away. To give you an idea of the scale, we are still walking past the storage building to be on my left-hand side at the moment. We'll be coming to the end of the detailing bay soon. We're going to have a covered washdown area over there, and then we drop down again. So the site's going to have a top tier, a middle tier, and then a lower tier. And on this tier, we're going to have a lot of staff parking. We're going to have our rear entrance to the site, which is where all the transporters will have access to come and load and unload off the road safely. And we'll also have our parts storage building. So, and then for future expansion and future development, we've got the other side of this laurel hedge. But I think that will probably be in a couple of generations to come, because for now, we're going to really struggle to fill these bloody buildings. So, I was having a great day, been out on site, all the machines are full speed ahead, we're digging holes and everything's going well, and then I get a phone call and things are not so good. Slight problem with our contractor. We're actually in the contractor's cabins at the moment, although I am paying for them. Currently we're working under a letter of intent, and the contract seems there was a misunderstanding on our understanding of the contracting terms and the contractor's understanding of the contract terms. So we have a bit of an issue, and we hope we still have a contractor, but this evening I'm not completely sure that we're still going to have the same contractor moving forward. Hopefully this will be something that we will rectify, but I have to say I feel sick to my stomach at the moment, and head spinning all over the place. Should be focusing on buying and selling cars and enjoying the whole process. And here this afternoon, I'm wishing I probably wouldn't have made the journey down, and that's not how you should be feeling when you're embarking on a project like this. You know, it can be painful. I am so grateful for some of the key people that I've got to support and can rely on. Our cost controller, quantity surveyor, Ian Pritchard, I have to say, he is he's tremendous. He is definitely my confidant. And anyway, I think tonight Ian and I are going to be having a serious chat for a long time. We'll be getting the project manager involved and finding out what we're going to do, and hopefully come to some sort of resolution with the contractor.
Hi, my name is Ian Pritchard. I am the Managing Director of the Walker Pritchard Partnership. We are a practice of chartered cost consultants, and we are appointed to act as Tom's cost consultant on the FERS. A cost consultant is someone who will oversee all of the costs and the spend on the project. We're sometimes called quantity surveyors, we're sometimes called cost managers, but typically we are similar to an accountant specialising in building works. We have to look at everything on behalf of Tom, and that includes all the construction and making sure that everyone is paid for all the construction works they do, looking at all of the invoices, looking at everything with regard to how much Tom has to pay for furniture, how much he has to pay for the actual construction itself, what he pays all of the consultants. So any costs associated with a construction project, we work very closely with Tom and his team to make sure Tom is paying the correct amount of money for that project. Tom is very similar to a number of our clients. There's no such thing as a typical client. Like many of our other clients, Tom is very successful in his own industry, and he has, like many of our clients, very unique qualities. Tom is incredibly hands-on with everything he does, incredibly involved in all aspects of the project, and that of course includes the cost management of this project. We have a close relationship with Tom, talks to me on an hourly basis, not just a daily basis, but an hourly basis about every part of the project. I first met Tom in summer 2021 when Tom approached us to act as his cost consultants for an exciting project called The Firs. And at the time, Tom did what Tom typically does, whereby he contacted me at 10 a.m. one morning, explained who he was, explained what he was trying to do, and asked if I was going to be available in about 4 hours' time to meet up with him and be interviewed for the role as his cost consultant on a project building him a new showroom. We need to make sure that the specialist subcontractors, consultants are all paid the correct amount of money. Basically tell Tom who he owes and how much he owes. We are incredibly conscious that part of this role means that we have to, at every opportunity, make sure we get that sum correct. If at any point any of those payments that we tell Tom are due are incorrectly made or are overpaid, that Tom will want us to pay him back for that mistake. Overall, we're incredibly pleased that we have been involved in this project, that we remain involved in this project, and we are hugely passionate that with ourselves and Tom and his team, the project turns out to be quite the destination.
So we're 2.5 months in. It's been a little bit of a stressful 2.5 months. It's now getting to an exciting stage where I feel excited when I'm at least on site. I can see now the site really taking shape. All the foundations, or a lot of the foundations, have been poured in Showroom C. Quite a bit of the foundations have been poured in Showroom B. Weekly, this is really going on leaps and bounds. Showroom A is now down to formation level. A week ago, that was a completely different height, and they've had to do the reduced level dig, and they're rolling and compacting the ground. It's really starting to take shape. Off-site, the project, it is stressful. There's no two ways of saying it or denying it, and there's no good trying to imply that it's just such an enjoyable process and it's full of roses. There's lots of stressful times, under pressure for making decisions. It's exciting. We've got weather that is scorching hot at the moment. Site rules, and I'm not one to actually stick to rules, but I can't believe I'm sticking to this, but site rules that's been put in place by the contractor Kingerly is that no shorts are allowed on site. Bit bloody miserable, isn't it? No shorts are allowed. I mean, it's 27 degrees today.
So this is the edge of your detailing bays. We've still got another couple of bays of footings to dig and pour.
How much stone's here out of interest?
This it's about 600 tonne.
Nice.
My name is Alist Dodman. I'm the construction manager here for Kingerly Limited. We're currently in week 11 of a programme that's due to complete towards sort of November next year, 2025. We're lucky in a way because we've started the civils and groundworks in the middle of summer, or the start of summer as we are now. Got some fantastic weather which is helping us with progress. So what we've got here is footings that we've previously poured through what will be Showroom C area. Then we've got the link section and what will become Showrooms A and B further towards the west. Today what we've been doing is pouring these sort of link section footings, about 70-80 cube of concrete in total. And you can see the guys just down there now sorting out the holding down bolts, loosening them, getting them ready while the concrete's sort of on its way off.
So why is the cages in this one? I haven't seen cages in the other.
Yeah, no, so everywhere you see a footing like this, so
Is this for like a staircase or?
No, this is for the steels. So these are HD bolts, or holding down bolts. So they get encased in the concrete, they're sort of cast in if you like, and the cones are there so that once we've poured the concrete, they've still got a bit of adjustment on them.
Yeah.
And the cage is there just to add stability to this part of the fitting because it's taking the loadings and the stresses from the steel columns. My first time working with Tom. It takes a slightly different approach to most clients I've been involved with. Very hands-on, very interested in the detail, wants to fully understand things before committing to a decision. And from my point of view, it's both challenging but also rewarding in that there's a clear interest from the client side in what we're doing, what we're trying to achieve. I say interest beyond the end product. There's an interest in the process. There's an interest in how we do it and why we do it, which is refreshing. And I'm certainly enjoying it, although it comes with its challenges. Everybody's working hard. Although we've got the sunshine, which makes everything easier, it's not easy on everybody's comfort levels, particularly in the high levels of heat we're getting at the minute. But the guys are coping well, working hard. Everybody's pulling in the same direction, which is great news. It's great news for the project, great news for us. Well, we're working with Eurocity on this project, and as you can see, we've flooded the site with men and machines. We've got, you can just see 4 14-ton machines there, nice new JCBs, and we've got 3 10-ton dumpers there and a roller over there.
Just to put it in perspective, if you stand here and you look and you go, okay, all that is going to be full of our classic car inventory. If you think that's one showroom, I don't even think this is the second showroom yet. I think we're about in showroom B now. And then showroom A is all over there. We're never going to fill this up.
That's a different challenge, isn't it?
The really daunting part when I'm on site is the showrooms are definitely bigger than I thought they were going to be. I'm going to claim they're bigger than I signed off because I just can't believe I didn't actually try and figure out how many cars per showroom we could fit. But I think all of our stock at the moment is probably going to fit in showroom A. Be a nice big building though.
A lovely building.
We can maybe play tennis in it or something. Things get a bit quiet.
A bit of Sabutio or something like that.
Open a gym in one of the sides. It's a lot of cars. I should have thought about this before we designed it. We're 15 weeks in, and what a difference 15 weeks make. Not only do we have all of the foundations poured for all the showroom spaces, but we have the blockwork ready for the concrete planks to sit on top. The concrete planks again delivered next week. And then come with me and we can see the reception area. Eventually you'll see from the main road, it'll be ramped down into the front parking area, then you'll walk through into the reception area. We are planning to have a Formula One car at all times on a pedestal in the reception area, reception desk, and then client lounge, which is very similar to something like a private London members club that our interior designer has designed without any regard to cost, I have to say. And it just, when you get a feel for the whole space, I mean, I'm a golfer, so I'm trying to visualize here, but I reckon that's a nice smooth wedge from one side to the other, I think. So we've commenced the dig for the foundations of our storage building. Now, this is an absolute new element to our business. We've always done some storage, but never to the scale what this is going to be. This is going to be an absolute separate standalone business of THJ. We're on the west side of the site. As you can see, we've started to dig the foundations. This is only, I mean, a quarter of the building. The whole building comes fully across, right the way down, and as far back as you can see where the excavation has taken place. I think one day there's going to be cars parked right on top of this. Nice couple of Veyrons or... But on the ground floor it's going to be double stacked. Upstairs is known as the penthouse, and the penthouse is going to be just single stacked cars, and it gives a potential owner the possibility to rent in the full first floor and housing his cars on the full, his or hers cars on the full first floor, and have their own sort of private garage in the Cotswolds.
Hi, I'm David Hughes, and I'm the project manager for the first showroom. My role is in essence, to make sure the project runs and gets delivered as Tom wants. In essence, working for Tom means that when he's not here, I have the responsibility of almost being him, keeping their kind of eyes and ears open in terms of what's happening here on site, and making sure that he's well informed. Also, kind of aware that Tom always says if he has to go away for 18 months, he wants to come back and for me to give him the keys, that everything's done. So obviously that weight of making sure it's done to that level of detail and the precision that it requires is obviously quite a, sometimes a daunting prospect, but also a challenge that, I'm relishing and looking forward to kind of completing. We're also making sure that, the money that's spent in the project is spent as though it's my mum's money and nobody else's. So therefore making sure there's really tight control on getting that value from every pound that's spent in this project. I originally met Tom, I think it was October 2023, through a mutual connection. I was aware of this project, but we didn't go any further at that time. And then about 2 months ago, I was called again and asked if I could come and have a chat to Tom about potentially helping out with this project. So I've been involved now, for that 6 to 8 weeks, getting into it, learning, what's going on, learning about all the complexities of the project, because not having been involved in it from day one, it's always more difficult to come in and try and get your hands around everything. So it's a learning curve at the moment, but it's getting to that point of getting control over it and be able to kind of, direct the project. This is kind of the starting point of when we get up from the ground. So the foundations are in, you can see that all the connections for the steels are in as well. So now we're putting the blockwork down, because that then allows the precast planks to go on top of that, which in essence will form the floor for the building. So all of this now, you can start seeing, the actual shape and the kind of the size of the building. Also the drainage is in, and you can see some pop-ups here. These are the ones that will run up to the rainwater. There's a rodding eye there. So all the below ground drainage, etc. is done, because obviously, that's all now closed off. And then the next stage of this is to get what I said, the precast planks in, which will then start forming the floor. So this is where the main steel will be connected. As you can see, there's quite a few of them all the way across, and then they will also go up and then span across. And over here, we can see that there's other ones that have been set into the foundation. So obviously it was very important to get this right, and this is one of the biggest risks that you have on the building side in kind of the winter months, is that the weather doesn't allow you to do this. So you can see that there's big steel connections all the way through here, which will make sure that this showroom A then gets spanned through that steel structure. Mid-July, and it's on program. There's some elements that are slightly ahead, there's some elements which, not quite there, but as a critical path, we're hitting that at the moment. So it's pretty good. We haven't had so much bad weather, so we're able to get out the ground. Hopefully in the next couple of months we'll get the steel started. So we'll be in a good place then to kind of carry on and hopefully keep to that program.
So we've got the planks going into Showroom C. So as it's going into Showroom C, that's planned to be our contemporary stock. So on top of that plank, we could probably have maybe a Porsche GT3, a Ferrari 488 Pista, or a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, or a G-Wagon. I'm sure in this area, G-Wagons are 10 a penny. So we better fill the showroom up full of G-Wagons. However, not putting Showroom C down in any way. This is where it gets really exciting because this is all this is the supercar showroom, the hypercar showroom. So in here, you're always going to see F40s, 50s, Enzo, LaFerrari, Porsche Carrera GTs, 918 Spiders, maybe the odd McLaren F1, certainly McLaren P1s. And then in Showroom A, when you go through this corridor, Showroom A is going to be the stuff that really stimulates THJ. So the old, really special stuff, the 1950s, 60s, maybe pre-war. You know, we've just sold that wonderful pre-war Alfa 8C 2.9. If the showroom was live and kicking at the moment, that's certainly where that car would have been located.
It's a hell of a place, isn't it? It's really, really impressive building, really, it's going to be. I want to try and get the steel frame for the storage barn in as well, if we can, this side of Christmas, which would be, if we can hit that milestone as well, that'd be a fantastic.
When is it programmed in for at the moment?
It's due to come in the middle of October.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to do is pinch a couple of weeks on that so we can get it at the same time as it. What I want to happen is for that to go up at the same time as this.
Can we have a look at the storage on the?
Yeah,
we'll have a look at
absolutely.
the storage on the way past today. Say hello to the boys, William.
Hey, William, let me shake your hand, William. Nice to meet you.
The boss is on site today.
The boss is on site. You all got to behave.
What can I see here? What's all the holes?
So that's where your steel frame sits. So the idea is that the frame goes in next. We then build the frame up, get the roof on, and then we can power float the slab, the ground floor slab.
And that's the lift
pit.
That's the lift pit
That's
to go
right.
up to the
That's right, for the
penthouse.
main. That's it.
Let's go to
That's
the penthouse.
where all the good stuff is, yeah.
Yeah. And
you
then
got-
they're building the offices.
the
and
offices
what's
and
that? The plant? No, the plant room's upstairs in there. I
So
think.
there's a riser cupboard on the back of the building over there, roughly where the access into the building is, and then that goes up into the plant room on the first floor. Then in the far corner there, you've got a little kitchenette, toilet, an office space, and then the staircase at either end, which goes up to the first floor.
It's quite a big building, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
You look at, and I suppose I'm thinking, oh well, 2 cars fit there.
Yeah.
But actually, it's not 2 cars because they're double stacked downstairs.
absolutely. Yeah,
Single
yeah.
upstairs. So you
Yeah.
suddenly go 2, 4, 5, 6 cars in that one space.
Correct. Yeah, yeah.
Is that going to be the pool?
No, that's not a swimming pool. Remember, we had to take the swimming pool out because we couldn't afford it.
Not loads of money.
You've got loads of money.
I can buy it.
Well, you pay for it then. This is coming to the end of the first phase of the project. The second phase, in September, we're going to have the steel work going in. It's just really taken shape from when we first started. It was just a site that we was trying to visualize, and now we can definitely visualize where everything's going, where we're walking now. We're just about to walk into the kitchen area, the staff kitchen, and then we've got PPF bay, detailing bay, photo studio. I'm just gonna have to work so bloody hard to fill this place up. But anyway, it's been good so far. Have we had some downs? Of course we've had some downs. You know, you always have a little bit of bad news. We've had some news this morning that the groundworks for the storage building, you know, we have to do a little bit more work there than expected, than planned. However, you know, generally it's been good. You know, we are definitely on target. There's no delays at the moment. We expect to be completed on time and working well with the team. You know, the contractor, I'm pleased with so far on the job. I will let you know how that goes in the next episode. But so far they're doing a really good job. Alistair on site and Bill, the project director, he's good. So yeah, we're moving forward and fingers crossed for the next stage.